Welcome back to the Two Dudes, Three Legs podcast with your host, Zach Dingee.
Tony Cappelletti.
Today, we are sitting down with Kevin Radovich, who is the detective and an amputee. And how long have you been an amputee?
15 years.
He's been an amputee for 15 years, above the knee as well.
And he's got a badass leg. That thing looks dope as shit.
Oh, you fucking gonna be famous.
Guys are looking sharp.
Zach Dingee.
Tony
Two
Cappelletti.
Dudes, Three Legs podcast, where we share business tips, interview experts.
And travel the world.
This week on Two Dudes, Three Legs.
Is that the one that can you like spin it all the way? 180?
My limb is too long, so I can't spin it. But yeah, you can. Yeah,
Got
some
it.
of them.
All right, let's start with, I'm sure, the question everyone has. How did you lose your leg 15 years ago? Tell us the story.
So 15 years ago, it was a Sunday. It was my day off. I was already a police officer for 1 year at the time. And just motorcycle accident. Taking a ride in the back roads. I was kind of new, inexperienced. I think it was my third day with my new bike, Gixxer. And just like back roads, S-turns. And I kind of took it a little wide. The truck came the other way. And if it was like cars, we probably would have hit mirrors. But because I was on my bike, my knee hit his headlight. So my
On
leg,
an 18-wheeler or
no,
like a
pickup
truck?
Pickup
Okay.
truck. Like a Tacoma, I think
Yeah,
it was. And
got it.
my leg went that way. My body went that way.
Oh, so instant separation.
Instant. So I went sliding down the road into a ditch, and ironically, like I didn't feel anything. You know, and they say like when you have trauma, it's either you remember everything or you remember nothing.
Mhm.
Like I remember all of it. You know, I
same.
remember sliding on my
Same.
back.
And I didn't feel shit either.
Yeah, nothing.
I had no
Absolutely
idea.
no pain. I heard the truck horn going off. So I went to stand up and I was like, oh man, that truck went in the woods or whatever. And I went to go take a step and fell on my face.
Yep.
I was like, oh,
Same.
that's gone. That's gone. Yeah.
Who was
So-
there to tourniquet you up? Anybody?
Luckily, by the grace, you know, like 40 seconds down the road was a park police ranger, just happened to be checking one of the parks, flew up there and had the tourniquet and everything, man.
Thank
It
God.
was nuts.
Thank
like just
God.
perfect timing for everything, you know.
And you got the helicopter and everything.
Stat flew me down to Westchester Medical.
Yep.
I think it was a 10-minute ride. And that was that, man. So that was on a Sunday. They had a surgery to like patch me up that day. Unfortunately, the accident actually split my kneecap in half, like went through it. So on Tuesday, I had to have a second surgery to take out the rest of the knee because that wasn't able to be taken. And then I spent the rest of the week in the hospital. Friday, I went to rehab. They told me, oh, it's going to be 6 months in rehab. I'm like, no way.
Wait a second. You were in the hospital for less than a week?
It was a week. Yeah, it was Sunday to Friday.
What the fuck were they doing with me?
Oh,
I was
yeah.
there for like a month.
Yeah, no, 1 week. So they're like, yeah, you got to go to rehab for 6 months. I'm like, there's no way. I'm not spending my time in rehab. Like, I went to Burke, which I'm really happy.
So did I.
Great place, right? They make you stand up and like deal cards. And I'm like, I'm 23. Like I can do this, whatever. I can hop anywhere you want, you know?
Right.
So I started getting in trouble there. So they gave me a wheelchair. I tried popping wheelies. So they took the wheelchair.
Wait, what is Burke? Is that the rehab center?
It's a rehabilitation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to pop wheelies on the wheelchair. They took that away from me. So they gave me crutches. So I crutched to like the library. Then I got yelled at that's too far for me to be crutching. I said, you know what? Time out. Give me your tests. I'm out of here.
Right.
So they gave me some couple run throughs to do. And Monday, they sent me home. So I was in rehab for 3 days.
Dude.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
A hospital for a week, rehab for 3 days.
And that was it. And
Oh,
it was
man.
15 days total. I was back to work.
Are you kidding me?
No, it was 15 sick days. So again, just by
He
chance,
called them
dude,
sick days.
sick days. It was sick days. We had a dispatcher who retired, and it was perfect because they put me on the desk as light duty. And I think I did the desk for like 3 months. I had an awesome sergeant at the time, ex-military, like solid dude. He would work half the shift on the road, and then he would come back into the desk and go, I'll sit the desk. You go figure it out, your leg. Yeah, no problem. So I started working on the road half of a shift at a time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
It was
Get you
just,
acclimated back into
it was awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Kevin, were you having pain early on, like right after those 15 days? Did you experience a lot of pain?
Oh yeah. The phantom pain at night was horrible. Horrible.
Did they tell you to do anything for Phantom?
No, they said stretch a lot and all that.
Stretch.
It took me a long time to figure out it was my water, salt, and like sodium intake. That was a big thing for me.
Yeah.
If I drank too much and I didn't like pee it out, my leg would start jumping and cramping.
Oh, that's so
You
interesting.
know, and if I didn't drink enough, it would start cramping up a lot, like phantom pain. So I realized I had to do my water regulation a lot. That was a big thing. Big thing.
When you had your surgery, I want to go back for a second. So you had 2 surgeries to get all the way up, and it's right above the knee. It's all the way down.
I am like
Literally.
the longest you could have without
Got it.
without
Without
the
a
knee.
knee.
And
Yeah.
there was no way to save the knee because half the knee came off,
Gone.
correct?
Yeah, gone.
Got it.
Yeah. So that's also been a big problem because my limb is too long. I'm restricted with some things.
Interesting.
Like I can't have that pin that flips your leg up
Right.
because that adds 2 inches, and I don't have 2 inches to give.
Otherwise,
you know?
your one knee
I
would
don't
be
have
much
2 inches
lower.
to give
Yeah,
either.
I mean, you can see it here. It's already lower.
Yeah.
2 inches to give. Yeah. So, yeah,
After you get out 15 days after, you go right back to work. How long were you a cop before this happened?
1 year.
1 year. you
So
said,
it was
yeah.
your first year.
1 year. Yep.
Holy shit.
What do you use? Internal suction on that?
So I did have suction with the pull bag and everything. I just recently went to the liner so I can swap to my running leg and all that back and forth, back and forth.
And you
What-
do a lot of running?
Yeah, he saw me.
At the
Oh,
gym?
yeah.
Yeah, at the
I
gym
saw
I
him.
run. Yeah.
What is, so you've been an amputee for 15 years.
Yep.
What is some pro tips you can give to Tony or other amputees? Because his fucking leg bothers him all the time, nonstop.
Yeah. It's for me, it was just personally figuring out my diet. Just figuring it out. The water,
Diet.
How
the
much
water,
it affects it?
the water, sodium, and salt, man. Those things, if you think about it, that's what affects muscles the most. You know, so if you're going to start cramping, take a daily logs, figure out what you're eating, and try to match it up as to what.
Yeah, all my issues are always just like skin
Yeah.
shit. So
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of time for me. I
Yeah,
got to figure out what's really bothering it, and I've been working on it, but
irritating it.
you know, I
Yeah.
have problems every once in a while. Also, just I'm shrinking constantly because it's only been it's almost like two
It's
and a half
almost 3 years,
now, yeah.
August.
Really?
Oh shit,
Almost 3
almost
years.
3
dog.
years.
A month away.
Damn,
Yeah.
time flies when I'm having fun.
Do you still have phantom pain? Have you had any in a while?
Once in a while, I have it.
Yeah.
Not so much. You know, not so much anymore. I have it pretty much under
I get it so
control.
rarely. Just
Yeah.
feels like every once in a while, randomly, like someone just stabs me in the leg.
Yeah.
And then it just goes away real quick.
Absolutely.
But I've never had it. Like I've heard other people who have it like really bad.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. And when I first got out of the hospital, I remember I used to feel my foot and like water running down it
Mm-hmm.
for a little while. And then it got much worse. And then it felt like someone had like pliers on my big toe. And they were just squeezing on it all the time. But then it went away. You know what the doctors told me to do actually? Sit down in front of a mirror and look at it. And like apparently it worked.
Yeah,
I don't have any issues.
I did that a lot. They said that if you're feeling like it's tightened up, sit in front of a mirror and like loosen up your real toes. And because your mind's going to trick itself thinking that you're like loosening it up on this side. Yeah.
Brain's fascinating.
So here's another weird thing that my uncle showed me. He's in above the knee, right leg, motorcycle accident as well. Do you ever try to move your left foot? Have you ever like tried to like, just like the same way you would concentrate on this?
Like trying right now. If I do, it starts to like bug me.
Yeah.
Because
me too.
I can't do it. And it's like,
Wait,
it's like
bug you
frustrating.
how though?
Like mentally, like the feeling, it's like, you can't do it.
When I do it, I can feel my left foot again.
Oh,
It
really?
feels like, you know, when you sit on your foot that's still there and you get pins and needles and it like goes numb. I can feel that in my left foot.
Oh, wow.
He showed me that and I'll never do it again. It's like the fucking weirdest thing in the world. I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if anyone else I've never talked to anyone else to
No.
see if they've tried that.
I'll try to like wiggle my toes on
Right.
this side, but I just get like that feeling of frustration because it's not moving.
Nothing's
and I'm
happening,
like,
yeah.
it's not moving. Yeah.
So you must be like really dissociated with it now.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're a detective. Were you in the field before you were a cop out in the field with your leg?
Yeah.
You ever have chased somebody on it? Everyone here
yes.
test you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, they've tested. Mainly, I've learned how to like. One of the big things I've done at work now is body language stuff. So I do more of like a mental thing. Like, hey, listen, dude, you can run if you want, but most people don't even know that
Right.
I have a prosthetic.
'Cause you're
Yeah,
wearing
you're wearing
pants every day.
Pants all the time, you know. There's a couple times it's really worked for my advantage.
Uh-huh.
And I got a great story for that one too.
Go ahead. Tell me
how-
what's
let's
your
hear it.
advantage?
All right. So it was probably 1 year after the accident happened. I had forget what it was now. It was an Autobot, but it wasn't this one. It wasn't a fancy one, but it was like all metal looking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we get a call for domestic. This kid's on drugs. He's freaking out. Got into a fight with his mom, whatever. So we pull up. I pull up in the police car first, right? And the kid's hanging out the window. It's a raised ranch, and he's like, F you pigs. And I'm like, F me, F you, you know? So I go running in the house, right? And my partner's with me. We get up to the landing, and it's a raised ranch, and we're looking down the hallway. And the kid's still screaming at us, whatever. He slams the door, and I hear him like sliding something in front of the door to barricade it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, like we got to go in there and deal with this kid. And I look at my partner, and I'm like, what do we do? Like, we got to take him to the hospital if he wants to kill himself, you know? I'm like, but we're not there yet. Like, I don't want to escalate anything. And the kid goes, you come in here, you're taking me out in a body bag. I'm like, okay, well, now we're going to the hospital. Like, now we got to do something, right? We got to kick the door. So we start running up to the door, ready to go. My partner goes to kick it. I'm like, no. Let me try with this, right? Because let me try. I got to try, right? So I line up and I boot the door. Okay. Now it's one of those thin, like paper thin doors. I didn't know that at the time.
Yeah.
My whole leg goes through the door. Okay. And you know, like the AKs, it goes down and I can't bring it back up.
Oh my God.
Gets better. The pant leg is stuck on my side of the door. So all this kid sees is a metal leg with a boot on it.
Shut up.
Yeah.
He's probably
Bro, he still tells the
freaking-
story.
He literally started screaming, what the F is that, the Terminator? I had to push my way through the rest of the door because now I'm stuck and now I'm crying. My partner's crying. We're laughing. This kid's freaking out on drugs. He's like in the fetal position on the ground screaming.
Well, the Terminator just came to
The
get him.
Terminator
So.
just came in. So we get to the hospital, right? And he's running to the doctors. The Terminator came in my room. He's attacking me. We're like, yeah, this kid definitely needs psychological help. Like the Terminator, like clearly. Like, what are you talking about?
That is hilarious. That's like, what's that movie where it's like, where the guy hits the axe through the door? He's like,
The Shining.
Yeah.
The Shining. There you go. That's that.
Here's
What a-
Johnny.
Yeah, here's Johnny. There you
Here's
go.
Johnny.
Here's fucking Terminator.
Man,
On my leg.
you know how much I would pay to see that?
It was great.
That's crazy,
I
bro.
I wish like the body cams were now, like we had body cams and all that stuff now. Like, if it was back then, I definitely would have that saved.
Oh my
somewhere,
God,
you
that'd
know?
be TikTok famous
It
video
was-
right there.
It was awesome.
You're kicking through the door. The mom's there, you said, right?
We made her stay outside because we
okay.
don't want like any more people. Yeah.
That's fucking
But,
crazy.
yeah, it
Did
was wild.
the kid just like not even try to do anything
Nothing.
after because he's
Nothing.
so
Fetal position
He
by
just
his bed.
didn't even move?
That was it. Yeah.
Did you say it?
No.
You didn't say it?
No.
Come with me if
Come
you want to
with
live. Yeah, you wanted
Do
to.
this again. I'll be back.
That was good accent too.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's crazy.
that's nuts.
Yeah, that's
Oh
some
my
wild shit.
God.
So
There's some good stories. You
Yeah.
know, that. You don't have the option, but the AK, you know, there's modes for the leg. Like I can put it in like a cycling mode or a running mode.
Really?
You know, yeah. And there was like back in the day on that leg, there was a remote, like a little Bluetooth remote. You know, I could switch to modes quick. So, like if I wanted to go biking, click it on biking mode, it like turns off the computer so there's no resistance. So I can just push and
I got
pedal,
you.
right? Unbeknownst to me, I had an arrest, had him in the back of my police car, and now I'm searching the car, right? I didn't think it was some drugs, whatever. So I'm leaning under the driver's seat and I'm like searching. I'm kind of like bouncing on my leg and it vibrates. I go, what the hell is that? So I stand up and I'm like, I don't like that. So I take a step and it vibrates 2 times. Like I feel 2 specific beeps, right? What the hell is that? So I go take another step and my leg gives out. There's no computer.
Oh,
It switched to cycle mode.
Oh shit.
Dummy me. I didn't have my remote with me. So now I'm standing on the side of the road going, what the hell do I do? Like it just switched to a mode.
Because you need it to actuate out to walk forward.
Need to walk.
wait, why did it switch to the mode though?
So I call my prosthetic doctor. I'm like, hey, I got an emergency. Like I'm on the side of the road. There's a guy cuffed in the back of my seat and I can't walk. Like, what am I going to do? He goes, so what you did is when you step on your toe and you bounce a couple times, it puts it into a mode switch, like a switching mode option.
Oh shit.
And then when I took a step, it puts it into the next mode, which is the cycling mode. So now I'm on the side of the road bouncing like a ballerina, trying to switch
Oh
this
my
thing to
God.
go back to the original mode that I needed. Like,
You're doing the stanky leg on the side of the road, and this guy's in the back of your car, like, who the fuck just?
Yeah.
Who arrested me?
yeah. So long story short, like, bring the remote with you to work.
Right.
I learned that after that one. Yeah. So
That's pretty
that
cool.
technology
There was
is
a lot of
insane.
You
Yeah,
can
what?
change. Does this light do that?
this does, but now it's an app on the phone.
Oh, that's
Oh,
sick.
so it's always with you.
Which is also good because I've had parties in my house. My friends find the remote, they click it, and then they're like,
They
I'm
fuck with
chucking
you.
this in the woods. I'm like, all right, awesome.
No shit.
Fucked
Yeah.
up.
And for the people who don't know, when he says AK, it means above the knee. Not many people know that. So
Zach knows. He's been around so many
Yeah,
amputees
he gets
now.
it.
been around. So when we went to what was the last one we just went to? Boston? Or
Yep.
no. Yeah, Boston.
Wait, you didn't go to Boston, did you?
I did. No, Jersey. I went to Jersey. Jersey. We're with 50 amputees. Like nobody in there. It's the entire room is amputees, and then I'm in there running around doing all this shit with him, looking like an asshole, beating everybody in all the
Yeah,
competitions.
he's racing all of us. It's like, all right, Zach, you're a dick.
Yeah, fucking asshole.
Have you spent a lot of time with any other amputees?
No, not really.
Dude, I've
No.
met so many
Yeah.
on this journey because, you know, we buy the blade legs and we donate them and we go to all these events for Levitate. I've become very good friends with the gentleman who founded Levitate. His name's Lasse Madsen and he lives over in Denmark. He's my boy.
Nice.
So he throws these events and has people come try on the blade legs in person. And if you like them, you buy them. We go and we, you know, give them to people there sometimes. But I've met, how many amputees do you think I've met now?
Oh my god.
30, 40 that I know. They're all
More than
fucking
that.
nuts. I love them.
Yeah, there's
We're
way more
like
than that.
us-
Would you say you lost your mind a little bit when you lost your leg? Do you think you're crazier now or crazier when you were younger?
No, probably now.
Yeah.
Now it's just I mess with people all the time. I mean, you could ask my wife. We go to like the Renaissance Fair, and I'll wear a shirt that says "Leg Story," $20,
Oh my God.
and I just walk around, and people are like, some people get really uncomfortable, which is like fun for me. You
so
know?
much fun.
But we went up to the bar and we're standing in line. I could see when people like read the shirt and they want to like ask you something. So the bartender, I see her turn. She goes, "Hey, can we take money out of the till?" And I'm looking. I'm like, "Oh, here we go. She's gonna buy a round or something." She goes, "We're gonna buy a round, but we got to know the story." So I'm like, "Oh, now I got to come up with something good." So we got a couple of good stories that we save on background. So I go, "You know the movie Saw?" And she looks, and I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "I can't talk about it. There's a lawsuit going on." She jumps in it.
God.
I swear, she starts crying. I knew that shit was real. She starts crying. I'm like, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Oh my
I'll buy
God.
my beer. I feel horrible. But I was.
This is at the Renaissance Fair?
The Renaissance
Oh
Fair.
my God.
Yeah.
See, you guys have a lot of opportunities to do crazy shit like that.
Oh yeah.
You and Shanna, you guys do the coolest costumes I've ever seen any couple do. Hopefully, if we're
Thanks.
filming this, maybe Bryce, you can snap a few and show it on the podcast.
yeah.
You guys do the sickest costumes ever.
Give me a couple of them.
I remember the last one you did, you looked fucked up. You were that fat guy from
Penguin. I was
Yeah,
Batman,
Penguin.
Penguin. Yeah, yeah.
that was
a good
you're-
one.
How do you guys do this? You come up
She-
with the costumes yourself?
She
You
does
do
it all.
You do all the costumes?
She
stuff?
makes it all.
You make it
so
too?
badass.
Yep.
Oh my god.
And then you did. I saw an apocalyptic one. I think you guys were in.
That- Went to Salem for that.
yes.
One. Yeah, that was probably my favorite one.
Me too.
So
He had his foot hanging over here, a fake foot
It was
hanging.
so great. I'll grab a picture, but it's I mean, she made the whole thing. She buys all the costumes. She like sews it, glues it, whatever you got to make it look like
Holy
gross.
crap.
But we went to Salem. It was during COVID. You had to have a mask, so we had to come up with a costume with a mask on it. So we're like, oh, we'll just do like a Mad Max thing, you know?
Yes.
But we ripped one pant leg off, so my pant leg was showing, and then I like had ears and fingers, but then I had one big long foot, like a limb on the foot.
That is
The best
genius.
costumes.
Yeah,
So you
is-
guys are huge Halloween fans,
Oh, I
obviously.
love it.
It's the
I
best
love
time
it.
of year, I think.
I literally have sat in my yard with my leg off, pretending to be like a costume, and when kids come up, I scare them
I did that.
and I chase them.
I did that at my uncle does a haunted house. It's Nightmare Circus, we call it. And I laid out on a table and I had like a fake leg cut off and I'd wait for people to come up and then I'd like jump on them because
Yeah.
you look like a prop
that
and you
shit's a
don't have a
blast.
leg.
Yeah, nobody believes
It
it.
sells
Yeah.
it big time.
Yeah,
That shit's
I think we're the only people that can make candy on Halloween. You know, like we gain it instead of people getting it
Oh,
from us.
yeah.
Like they throw their candy, they go running away, and I collect all the Reese's.
So what else? You were apocalyptic, and then the other one you just said. What other good
Yeah,
ones you got?
Penguin.
More?
Batman, we're Penguin. We were what else? We were Beetlejuice one year.
Oh, that's good.
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
a good one. We went down to New Orleans and we were vampires from what was that movie again? Interview with a Vampire.
The best
did
one
that.
I've ever seen. You ready for this? I was 14 years old, there's a club, Truman's. You ever heard of Truman's?
No.
Used to be, it was like
It was the gay bar across the river.
Gay bar, yeah. And every third, hold up.
He was trying to catch you, bro.
He was trying to catch you. All right.
Every third week, they'd have teenager night or some shit like that. We were like 14. We used to go there.
Sounds sus.
Yeah.
Mad sus, bro.
It wasn't gay when it was the teenager night. It was the spot for all teenagers. It was like Kiki Club.
Yeah.
But anyway, a guy dressed up as a bathtub. It was a big ass bathtub that came out of him like this. And then it was a shower curtain around him. And when he went into Truman's and he was dancing, he would close the curtains and dance with the girl inside his own little bathtub thing.
Dance with a girl.
Yeah.
Whatever. I shouldn't have mentioned it. He mentioned it was a fucking gay bar. It would have been a problem.
Did you dip your toes in his bathtub?
Yes, I did. I got in his bathtub. It was great. Nice and warm.
Man.
Yeah.
Kev, can
Anyway,
I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So being a cop, you might have had a little bit more experience, but I know us kind of like going on this journey with Tony. What was your familiarity with amputees and prosthetics before your accident? Did you know anybody?
Zero.
Yep.
Zero.
So was that a big
Absolutely.
learning curve or what? Like
100%. It was. So when I go to a step ahead down Long Island, and those guys are amazing down there. I got to give them all
I
the props
follow
in the
them on
world.
Instagram.
Yeah.
They look like they are a step ahead.
They are amazing. Like they're great. That's good.
I mean,
Yeah. So like even just like walking, like I told you, like a couple days after I'm down there, and they're like, "Yep, get in the prosthetic. You got to learn quick, otherwise you're gonna forget how to walk. You got to get into it." I'm like, "Okay, all right." So another funny story is they had a fundraiser for me at the police department, right? So I show up and I'm in the leg. I shouldn't be in it. Like the bottom of the leg wasn't even healed yet. It's bleeding out of the pin and everything,
God.
like bad. And I was probably standing for like 13 hours at this event, right?
oh, dude.
I just didn't want to sit down. I had a lot of people. I'm talking to everybody, whatever. So I go to check in with the surgeon, right? And I didn't bring the prosthetic. I'm not supposed to be in it, right? So I go in. He goes, "Hey, you in a prosthetic?" And I'm like, No. You told me not to. He goes, "You sure?" I'm like, "Yep, absolutely sure." He pulls out a newspaper, and there I am standing in the newspaper in the prosthetic. I look at it and go, "Wow, there's another cop who lost his leg. His name is Kevin too. Just go with it. That's not good." But a lot of just learn as you go. Learn as you go.
How bad was the pain? Like how long did it last? Because again, for him, you can talk about it, but your pain, his pain still goes on all the time. I feel like your leg.
Yeah, but only when I'm super
always
active.
fucked
I'm
up.
sure when you go for a long run, your fucking leg hurts.
Yeah. It depends. I get more tired now than hurt. It used to be like when I started running, it felt like you were like if you were running on your kneecaps. That's what it felt like when I started running. Now it's kind of after time, it just develops better, and I just get more tired than anything. There's certain points that wear out a little bit more, like towards like my butt cheek on the back, that rubs a lot harder, so sometimes that's more pain. It's not like the leg itself, it's certain areas.
Do you still ride?
No.
You haven't rode since?
Can't shift.
Can't shift.
Oh yeah, it's your left foot.
Yeah.
Damn.
I went to fast cars.
What do you got?
I've had everything. I change cars like I change my underwear.
Nice.
So I've had the new GTR, I've had Supras.
Oh, holy fuck.
Yeah.
What do you have right now?
I got the Jeep Rubicon now.
Things.
I got rid of
Oh, the 392?
No.
Oh,
I wish.
okay. I thought you had the
wish.
VA one.
I wish.
Okay,
I
okay.
wish. No. I just got a Rubicon. I got rid of my M4 for that.
I just sold my M3 literally an hour ago.
Oh,
Which is just
yeah,
before
just
we got
picked
here.
him up.
Yeah, you just picked me up from down here. I had an E46 M3.
Oh, nice.
Older one.
Yeah.
I
But
miss having a fast car.
I know. I'm going to get the itch now again.
I
I look
gotta
all
get
the time.
something.
I know.
Steven's got one.
Yeah, Steve's got plenty.
he's got a Bentley.
He's got an M3 right now sitting on the corner of Wheels of Us. I was looking at it today.
I sold him my GTR.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why he wouldn't let any of us know about it because I'd come and fucking talk him down. I'd be driving it.
Did you work the GTR? Was it worked? Because
Oh,
those
yeah.
things get crazy. Yeah.
Stage 2 is at 950 horse on it.
Yeah, they get
Oh
insane.
my goodness.
It was too much.
Yo, there's
It was
one
too
guy, you know the guy, he owns, is it windows or decals, something like that. He does something with windows in the city, who's got the hand-driven GTR. He's paralyzed from the waist down.
Get out of here.
And he has a hand, you ever seen that one? The yellow one that's around here? But yeah, he's paralyzed from the waist down. He's got a hand-driven GTR.
That's so badass. I did go get a quad though.
Yeah.
I got the baddest ass quad you could buy without shifting.
Nice.
I got a 1000. What is it called? An XX? I've ridden
Renegade,
it once. I'm
Renegade
such a
XXC. XXXC.
Oh yeah, it is called a Renegade.
Renegade.
It's a 1,000R. It's so stupid fast.
Yeah,
And it
you
weighs
got anything?
800 pounds.
I mean,
Quads, dirt bikes?
we don't have a lot of property for that, but at work, yeah, we have ATVs, we got UTVs. I'm on
Different
those
shit.
details. Yeah.
Different shit. So
You use that for D-Tech work?
Nah, I do details. So like the
Okay.
fireworks, like 4th of July fireworks, with all the parades and stuff. We have UTVs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the Marine unit, so the boat stuff. I get all the cool stuff from work.
got it. So let's talk about the detective work a little bit. How long have you been a detective?
So I got promoted 2 years ago.
Okay. So you've been a
Congrats.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
yeah. What does that entail? Are you just getting stuff kind of dropped on your desk?
Yeah, I want to
and
know
then-
the day-to-day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause
Give us
it's
something.
So-
is it like the movies?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So it really depends on what it is. Day to day, some days there's absolutely nothing going on and I'm just catching up on paperwork, but some days we're just getting slammed. My wife will tell you from the homicide, I had a homicide that like I wasn't home for like 18 days. It was I'd come home for 20 minutes, I'd sleep, take a power nap, my phone's going off, I'm running back to work, whatever, Mainly right now what comes in a lot is these financial crimes, these scams. Oh, your brother's in jail. We need bail money, and someone sends bail money, and they're not really that person at all.
Oh, that
like
sucks.
those kind of old people scams, things like that, is really what we're tracking
Online
down.
scamming and shit
Online
like that too?
scams. Yeah,
That's the biggest thing, right? Like as far as
Those-
volume?
those I'll probably get maybe 7 a week.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Holy fuck.
all the other stuff.
What's
Just
the biggest number you've seen someone get taken for?
one of the local schools by us was $400,000.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah, that was like a check. They made a fake check.
Oh my God.
Hammered them. Yeah,
That's a lot of loot, dude.
yeah.
And these people get away with it.
Depends. It depends on how quick we can catch them.
Yeah.
Like if
Is there like a time that once a certain amount of time passes? Like I know with a homicide, typically within the first 48 hours, if you don't have a lead. Is that true?
No,
Oh.
no. I mean, I had my
Well, then-
lead within 6 hours, 4, 5, 6 hours, something like that. So yeah, I guess it was pretty good. But no. So like the financial stuff, no. It's just mainly we try to do it for the banks. Like we is the quickest we can tell them like this was a scam. They'll get it paid back with insurance, and our victim usually gets made whole. And then we have all the time to track down the bad guy that made away with the money. But as long as our victim gets made whole, we're really
I don't
not
even
under
understand how
pressure.
these guys could get away with it. What do they do? Take a check for $400,000, put it in an account? Like how could they have access to an account that doesn't directly lead to them?
Yeah, you think about it every time. Our age, we don't send out checks. How many paper checks do you send out?
I
none.
can't even
I
write
do
one.
it.
Exactly.
I have to Google how to write a
Yeah, the
check.
problem
That's
is
why I write one.
anytime someone sends out a check, they have your account number and your routing number.
Right.
So anybody can just scam you. It's your personal information's out there. So I tell
I
everybody,
write checks every fucking day.
yeah, man.
Not good, huh?
No, my parents just got hit last week.
Oh my goodness.
Same thing.
Are they in
for their,
Putnam?
for their business? Yep.
So you're on it.
I can't, but yeah,
Oh.
my partner is on it. Yeah, no joke. Yeah,
How much was that for? A
It
lot?
was like $2,000.
Oh, okay.
Nothing crazy.
It's the irony. The guy that just left before this is locked in with Ian Bick. And do you know who that is? Have you
No.
heard of his story from Connecticut? He's the guy who runs a podcast here. He went to jail for money laundering. He owned a bar. He owned a
Ironic.
bar in Connecticut and had some troubles when anyway,
There
he
you go.
left
Yeah.
at 20 minutes ago.
There you go.
And that's a little ironic.
Yeah.
But all right, so money fraud is common. Give us some other ones. What
I
else
want
have
to.
you
I want to
seen?
get right to the juicy. Give
The
us
good stuff?
your favorite case you've done so far
My favorite case?
that you've worked.
It depends. I mean, the homicide was fun. That was definitely fun to work, but that was our entire unit. I wound up having to pull in the FBI. We used a lot of different
Take us there.
different agencies.
Day one.
I
Are you allowed? You,
don't want to say it. I don't want to say it.
No. What can you
Um,
tell us?
So she was murdered in Brewster, and then her body was transported down to North Carolina, and we wound up finding her down there. We did,
Wow.
yeah. We did some interviews. We talked to some people and got some other information. But yeah,
Not allowed to say
I
much
can't-
more.
So
Yeah.
literally yesterday, I was going down to court for it. So
Oh, wow.
it's not done
Oh,
yet.
it's fresh.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was,
so you're in the
it was
middle
a-
of working
it was-
one of your biggest favorite cases right now.
It's done. He was arrested.
Oh, okay.
But it's in the process of still going to court. Yeah.
What stories can you tell us? Give us a couple. Maybe one or two war stories.
Some war stories.
You ever beat anyone with that leg?
No.
You ever threatened someone to beat them up with the leg?
I have made jokes with the guys at work saying like, one day I'm just going to go nuts on these people. Like when someone's like, oh, like getting all crazy, I'm just going to go straight Mel Gibson and just boom, shoot my prosthetic leg and be like, who's crazy now? Do crazy stuff like that. No, I mean, there's day to day. I mean, we deal with a lot of stuff in my unit, a lot of stuff I try not to bring home. Like we do a lot of like kid sex crimes, things like that, which is like, that's rough. Some of those are super, super hard to deal with,
How do you, are you able to just kind of disconnect from it now because it's work and not bring it home, or do you still struggle with it?
It's hard to not bring it home, because it's always in my face, but yeah, there's a couple of bad ones. Like generally the sex crimes are the ones that are hard for us, like the rape and the kid stuff. That's hard for us to
that stuff fucks people up big time. Yeah. So I get that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's hard. Like I'll come home and I'll completely turn it off, but then like we'll watch a movie and I'll see something where they'll be like, man, like we're watching True Detectives now, and I see a couple things in there and I'm like, man, like clicks back to the case that I had. I was like, yeah, it's exactly like what I had. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Have you always wanted to be a detective?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Since you were young?
Yeah. There's kind of two routes in the police world. Like you can do the detective route or you can do like a sergeant route. And I never wanted to be like a boss telling somebody what to do. I always wanted to figure shit out. That's the way I wanted to go.
There's got to be a lot of, so it's got to be rewarding on top of obviously being a very hard job to do because all the shit you got to see.
Yeah.
It's got to be tough to have faith in humanity when you have to deal with the nastiest things. Like, I don't know. I don't know how you could do it. I think I would go crazy. You're a strong man, dude.
So the best way to wrap your head around that is I always tell myself, I'm dealing with somebody at their worst day, at their worst time. That's not everybody every day. There are some people I deal with every day that it's like, you're a shitbird, but there are a shitbird. Everybody else, like, I'm like, listen, this was just a really bad day for you. And that's what it
like
is,
the Terminator kid.
Like the Terminator kid. Yeah. That was a one day. He'll never forget that day, and I'll never forget that
probably
day.
Never do drugs.
Hilarious.
I know I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Kid can't stand next to toasters, anything electronic. Freaking out.
It's a great one. Yeah. That's how you just deal with it,
And now you're a father as well, right?
Yeah. Yep. Shanna's, he's my stepson. But,
okay.
Yeah. Shanna's son, Gunner. Yep.
Gunner.
Oh, what a sick name.
That's an awesome name.
That's a cool last name. Yeah. Everybody's got cool names.
Yeah, for real.
Gunner,
change mine.
It's Gunner Creed.
What?
Holy shit.
That's a dope name.
Right?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's probably cool though. I mean, how old is he? He's young.
He's 8.
Oh,
yeah.
8.
Yeah.
Jeez, I feel like I just saw like pictures. I don't know. I was like going through your Instagram and shit. I thought I saw pictures of him like a little guy, but.
Oh, probably. I mean,
I just started my dad journey. I got a 2.5-month-old at home.
Oh, yeah.
Baby girl, baby Gianna. We call her Gunner too.
So what was the training like when you decided to become law enforcement?
That's a good one. So I have a lot of different skills that I specifically looked for. So the regular training's like the academy, and one of the things I get all the time is a step ahead calls me and they said, hey, we got somebody who's, a BK below the knee and they're looking to go in the academy. I'm like, okay, like to me, yeah, if you can do the run, you can do the physical, but they're being told no, like you can't keep up, you can't do it.
By who though?
Like people in the academy.
So do you find yourself being like an advocate for other people who are disabled?
Yeah. So I told them, I said, I'll go down there. Like, as far as I know, my prosthetist, say that the right way, he tells me all the time, like, you're the only AK I know in New York State that's still a cop.
Damn.
And I'm like, okay. So I don't know anybody else. I don't even know any BKs that are cops. I know some NYPD guys. There was one time I was at the doctor and one guy was like giving me shit. He's like, you still work? I'm like, yeah, I had to. Like, it was only 1 year on when it happened. Like, I got back 15 days, man. I was back. He's like, it's because of guys like you. I'm trying to get out on disability, but you guys like you are coming back. I'm like, that's your problem, dude.
Yeah,
like,
what
Somebody
the
said that
fuck?
to your face?
Yeah, he got thrown out. He
What
threw him out of the office. He's like, I'm not putting up with that stuff in my office. You get out, and threw
What
him out.
a dick.
Yeah. So it depends. I'll go talk to anybody. I'm like, hey, listen, if there's somebody in a hospital, somebody I know, I'll go. Like, no problem. I'll go talk. I'll be an advocate. You can get through this. You can do it. I did 16 years as a cop with it, So it's.
So what was the
Hey,
physical
here's a living
activity like
example.
for you, like beforehand? Like, what was did you have like a wild training experience yourself getting into the game? Like,
So before,
Yeah, for
So I went to the Duchess Academy right down the road, and the head instructor Sean Gallagher, love the guy, super physical guy. Even if he was like hungover, this guy would run 17 miles with you, So he would always push us harder and harder and harder. I was never a runner, never wanted to run. I'm not built for running. So we go to the academy, and I remember one day we had a bunch of instructors, but they all got called out because they're all cops. Shit comes up, So all the classes were canceled. He goes, "We're just running all day."
Oh, God.
Yeah, tell me about it. We went from the Dutchess County Sheriff's Office. We ran all the way up here, Route 9, to Vanderbilt.
Oh,
He made us run down the hill into Vanderbilt and back up, and then back.
that's a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. The next day, the same instructors canceled again. Guess what we
Same
did?
thing.
Yeah. So we ran from Dutchess County Sheriff's
fuck's
out
sake.
to Route 9 and down to 84 and back.
Oh, my God.
And that was our entire day. Yeah.
did guys quit at that point? Was there guys quitting like in the Marines and shit?
No. So kind of weird. At that point, in the beginning of the academy, everything sucks, right? You don't want to be there. But that's what they do. They break you down, and then they slowly start building you back up. So like now, I miss it. I would go back to the academy in a heartbeat. And anybody that I graduated with, we had 22 people start the academy, 21 graduated.
Got it.
That's
Like
awesome.
only
Very
one
high
quit out
success rate.
for medical. You
Yeah.
know, like that was the only reason why that was out. So we would all go back in a heartbeat. And funny story, that fundraiser that they had for me that I shouldn't have been in my leg.
Yeah.
My 90-year-old grandmother sits next to Sean Gallagher, right? And he goes, he's going back to work. You know why I know he's going back to work? Because he went through my academy. And I was like, get away from my grandmother.
Leave her alone.
get away from
So
her.
I got a good question for you. Sometimes I see it online more than anything, but like you see a video of a cop and he's like super overweight, and like if something happened, like this guy's not doing anything,
Yeah.
couldn't fight his way out of a plastic bag. Like, what's your take on that? Like, don't you think that somebody upholding the law should have to perform at some type of standard? Like, what's your take?
Absolutely. You got to stay fit for our job. I mean, we have enough stress on our body mentally and everything else you do. The physical part of it, the average cop when they retire will die within 5 years.
Oh my God.
Just because.
Holy fuck.
that's-
Wait, what?
Yeah, literally. I just went to a training about wellness and all that kind of
Probably
stuff.
heart stuff, right?
Heart, your sleep regulation, everything. So like a 40-year-old cop is probably like 60 something years old. You know what I mean? So like
Wow.
I can retire at 42. So luckily I'm going to be young enough, but you got to stay fit. Those guys are really, they're an embarrassment because it's just not healthy, but mentally and physically, you got to be better than that.
Right.
We have to be better, you know?
Do you have any kind of standard throughout the process of like 10 years in? 10, 15,
No,
nothing?
there's certain, if you like, I'm on the SWAT team, but I'm not like a ram the door guy. I'm not a TAC guy. I'm a hostage negotiator. So we have never had like a standard for running or things like that, which I think SWAT guys should. That should be the peak fitness guys, right?
100%.
Ramming doors, right? But we were so lax, and it's hard for cops to continue that. It's hard for anybody to keep physical fitness going. And sadly, when I was in narcotics, my boss was on the SWAT team, and they started to put a standard in effect. They said, "Hey, you're not doing a 1.5 mile run. You guys are no young kids. Like we got 40-year-old, 50-year-olds, whatever." And they're like, "But we're going to make you do like a little obstacle course, flip a tire, go up and down a ladder, hit a door, whatever you got to do." So my boss started freaking out, and he's like, "Hey, I got to get back into shape." He went to the gym that night and had a heart attack.
Oh man, I knew you were going to say
Holy-
that. Jesus,
So
poor guy.
I mean, and he was a great boss,
That's terrible.
So
That's
like,
intense.
that's the thing. It's either you keep it going from the beginning, but you can't start putting that in effect. You have to start slowly rolling that in, you know?
Have you ever, you just slipped past it. I want to go back to that. Have you ever had to do a hostage negotiation? Have you ever actually had to do it for the SWAT team?
So I've been on that for two or 3 years now. There's been a few. The only ones that I've been on we've never made contact.
Got it.
So it's very difficult. Once we can get them on the phone, we can keep them on the phone and keep talking, and we can do all that stuff. Unfortunately, the ones I had, there was just no turning back. They just wanted to do it, and they ended their own life. Yeah.
What's the training like for that?
We had 2 weeks of intensive training. It's a lot of talking. I mean, you guys would be great at it. Like the talking aspect, keeping somebody talking. You don't tell anybody no. Like, oh, can you get me a helicopter? There's some things you're like, listen, that's not an option, but let's talk about something. It's more about like redirection. So I went to school for forensic psychology, like criminal profiling. And so I'm big into like the body language, interrogations, things like that, which it was kind of hard for me to switch for hostage negotiator because now it's on a phone. I don't get to see someone's
Very
body
difficult.
language.
Yeah.
Everything you've been trained on.
That's a big thing.
So I had to start reading about personality types, which I learned in college for some things. And so the way to talk to somebody is figure out their personality type, and then you can direct them like that. Perfect example, if someone's a dominant personality, right? That's that ego-driven person.
A-type.
A-type, exactly. I'm not going to tell you, hey, come out of the house. Never going to happen, right? But if I ask the question a certain way, like, hey, if you decide to come out, will you at least let me know? That's giving,
Because you're putting the power in their hands.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm making them be the power one in choosing their own
It's
action.
just like sales.
I was just going to say, you know who says that? NLP, neuro-linguistic programming.
Yes.
In the event
Absolutely.
you decide to move forward today, here's what you'll know. Like, that's
Absolutely.
all the same thing.
Yeah. So I've learned there's 4 different personality types, and each way I can ask.
This is probably the
Yo, this is
training
the same
we
exact
did.
shit.
Probably the same
There's
thing.
4 different personality types. There's social.
Absolutely. Social,
A-type.
dominant, God, I can't
Analytical,
remember.
I think, is one of them.
Yep.
And then
Calculated.
there's calculated
and
then-
stable.
Listen, dog.
Stable, yeah.
If
Yep,
you're
there
if
you
you're
go.
having
There you
trouble
go.
negotiating, hit me up.
There you go. See? You guys got
That's
it.
funny. It's negotiating.
It's the
right?
same
So it's
thing,
like,
Same
dog.
thing. Sales, car salesman. all the
that's
same thing.
crazy.
The only difference is when you're trying to buy a car, you're trying to do what's best for you. You're trying to get the best option. I can't accept the best option. If someone has 15 people hostage, I have to get all 15 out. I can't say, oh, give me 6, and then you can keep the rest.
Guys, we got 6.
It's all right, good job going home. So that's the only difference is we got to play a little higher stake at it. But
So that's so interesting. That's so interesting.
All right, so Kevin,
Is-
so did you say that you wanted to be a cop basically since you were like little?
yeah, so when I was 12 years old, my mom was, we lived in a community, Lake Carmel, and she was part of the Lake Carmel committee, like keeping the water clean and keeping like motorboats off of it and things like that, And on the committee was a police sergeant, Sergeant Jerry Ranieri, really good friends with my mom. And I'm super young. Every time he came over, I'm like, oh, I want to be a cop. Look at his uniform. It's so cool, blah, blah, blah. So one day I'm playing out in the yards. I think I was up the block or something like that. And I found a box of bullets in a ditch. So I go running home to my mom and I'm like, you got to call Sergeant Ranieri. He's got to come get these bullets. So he came to the house. He put me in the front of the police car and he goes, take me where the bullets are. So he drove me up the road.
You're
I
a
showed
detective
him
for the
boom.
day.
Yep. He took out the bullet. He told me how like the hammer of the gun hits the bullet and how it works and operates the whole thing. And I was hooked. Went back home, told my mom. And then that summer, that sergeant started a cadet program in the town of Kent Police Department. I was the first cadet. I signed up. I got a uniform and I started riding with the police officers every Friday, Saturday,
nice.
Sundays, whatever, till I got hired as a cop. So, I mean, I went all through high school riding with them. Then I went part-time in Westchester, and then I got hired with the town of Kent Police Department.
Why do you think you wanted to be a cop so bad? What was your motivation?
No idea.
Just
No idea. Everybody
Always.
says, oh, you want to do the best for the public. You want to do this. Me, I just thought it was the coolest freaking thing ever.
Yeah.
Lights and sirens.
That's so cool, man. There's something really romantic about that story. It's like you knew it. When you were younger, you wanted to be a cop, and then you came on, and then the world tried to steer you in a different direction. You were like, fuck that, I'm staying
being a
on.
cop anyway.
Yep.
That's a badass story, man.
So that's actually why I asked, because it sounded like, like you just thought it was so cool from a young age, and that's like what you were determined to do. So then you were serving as an officer like through the kind of like shift in the culture when it became like almost like not cool to be a cop, or like the attack on police culture. So what was it like to be inside that? And was there a panic? Was it like a resistance? Did you guys become, tell us about what it was like.
So the police, if you look back in the history of policing, it's always a pendulum, right? It's always, we're good, we're bad. We're good, we're bad, right? 9/11, we were awesome. Like, we're the best, we're lifesavers, and now we're back into this other side now. I look at that as still as a positive for police officers. I'm a big proponent of training. I'm an instructor. I try to teach. I try to, I was a field training officer when I was still on the road, like teaching the new kids. We need better training, Unfortunately, the defunding of us, we can't get that training. So you got to have one way.
You've been affected by it.
We all have. We went from 6 people on the road to 5 on the road. Like, we have all been scaled back. It's starting to come back now where we can go to trainings. Like, I just got back from 3 days. I was at a FBI conference in Connecticut for behavior analysis. So like, there's little things that even the training companies are doing it for zero. They won't make you charge, just so they can get us to go to training. That's huge.
So the defunding is like, it's counterproductive to the cause.
To their cause.
itself.
Absolutely.
It's very interesting because if you want to practice law as a lawyer and defend law, you have to go to school for years, and there's constant training and pressure on you. But if you want to enforce law, it's not nearly, it's 1/18th of that.
Yeah. Yeah. For us, we have to keep up on ourselves.
Correct.
That's what they're expecting. They're expecting, oh, you need to know the case law that comes out and how this affects this and how this affects that. We need more training of everything. You want better cops? Train us. You want more equipment? You got to train us on that equipment, and it's all cost money.
Real quick, you brought up the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
I'm big on conspiracies.
Oh, yeah?
Are the FBI just pawns for the Biden crime syndicate? How do you feel about that?
I mess with them all the time. I work with them a lot. Some of them are just really good linguistic people. Some are really good at certain aspects. I've always wanted to do the behavioral analysis unit. It's stupid, but the
shows that we're all addicted to.
They're not real.
Mindhunter. Mindhunter?
That's a great show.
I read that book too. It's sick.
Yeah, it's a great show. I've always wanted to do FBI. So unfortunately, I did apply to FBI probably 2009, I think. I passed several of the phases. I was going to be a victim specialist out in LA. It was like, I don't know if it was like $96,000 to start or whatever. And they said, oh, you have to go through Quantico. And I said, all right, just I have a prosthetic. And to go through a whole academy again as an AK, that's going to be rough,
Yeah.
So they said, all right, but we'll go. You can do it. I said, all right. At the time, I was still a Kent cop. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll take a leave of absence so I can go to the academy. If I fail Quantico, I can at least still have my career, my life back, And unfortunately, they're like, no, we need full commitment. You need to quit the police job to come down here. And I was like, I can't take that risk. That's
too much of a leap of faith on that one.
Yeah, it was probably 2 or 3 years after my accident. I never ran. I was still processing it and working through it. So
too much of a risk on that one.
I have it framed. The whole you can go to Quantico, the whole thing, acceptance letter. Yeah,
that's pretty cool though.
Yeah,
Shit.
Yeah, that would have been an awesome job.
Now let me ask you this: do you keep the blade leg on you just in case somebody takes off on you?
No.
How long does it take to switch from one to the other?
So this leg's like $300,000. It will switch automatically.
What?
Yeah. So there's a computer.
$300,000.
Bro, we thought we were.
What did homie just say? $300,000 for that leg?
Oh yeah, for the whole setup. Yeah.
Let me hold that for a minute.
Oh my!
That's crazy.
God, what makes it $300,000?
So there's a computer in the ankle that tells the gyroscope in like the shin what the computer of the knee should do. So if you think about it, there's 3 computers in this leg:
The knee.
Wow.
knee,
Ankle.
shin,
get a
and
close-up.
in the ankle.
Wow.
So
Keep going on it. Yeah.
it's waterproof, which is the huge thing. I needed that, because I was on the Marine unit. I can't be on a boat and can't jump in to save somebody or do something. We're going to get wet no matter what we do,
Right.
So it automatically switches modes. So if I start to run, that gyroscope will.
Oh, this is the one you run on?
No, I run on the blade just to make it easier, but I can run on this.
What?
Yeah, I just don't because it's $300,000. I don't want to break it.
Wow. That's
But,
crazy.
yeah, if I start to
So
run,
it just knows as soon as you
it'll
go.
know. It knows the gait of this leg. So if I take a short step, it'll take a short step. If I start to run, it'll run with me.
Bro.
Yeah,
Wow, that's crazy.
And it's all Autobot.
all Autobot. Yeah, it's a Genium X3.
So how hard was that to get funded? Was that through insurance? What's the battle been? Has
Yeah.
there been a battle? Like, what's that like?
Unfortunately, yeah. So every 3 years, my insurance will pay for a new one. So every 3 years, I get a new one. So this is probably this one's my 3rd one. The other one was that Terminator leg that I had. So insurance is tricky. It used to be really, really good in New York. I don't know what changed in the last couple of years, but it's been a battle now. My prosthetic doctor is trying to get me a secondary because, again, with the long residual limb, I break it a lot. I force the computer too much, and I overextend it, really, which is fine. My doctor's like, yeah, send it, whatever you got to do.
Right.
So I'll go down there and I try to swap it out. I'll get like a rental. I joke with everybody at work. I'm like, yeah, I got the rent me sticker today on the leg.
Wild.
But they've been trying to get me a secondary leg. So if I break this one, I can just mail it to them and then use my backup, but insurance denies it. They're like, we're not paying for a
crazy.
second one. I'm
Even
like,
in
all
your
right.
line of work, like they don't.
So again, before I could get whatever I wanted. They're like, hey, he's a police officer. He needs to be fit. Get him a blade. Hey, he's got to do this. So like now I have a hybrid. I do have a full blade. I don't like running it. It sounds like a centaur when I go running, but I have a hybrid, which has a foot and it's still like 3/4 of a giant blade.
Wow.
So that one's easier to run. It's just no computer. I can't go up and down stairs. This one I can step foot over foot like I'm going up and down the stairs.
That's dope.
That is so it's insane that they have technology to make it switch like that and just work all
Mine
the
is
time.
so
And,
basic.
yours-
There's nothing.
like that's why I'm comparing to like you
Yeah,
just
mine
got to
is like-
fucking
Mine is literally, there's nothing to it. It's
Yeah.
just it's a blade and a socket. And
Yeah.
that's it. I don't even have suction on mine. It's a pin.
It's a pin.
I got nothing going on with mine. Cool. Maybe that's why I get hurt all the time. I got to
Probably.
step my game up.
Gotta step it up.
I got a question back to what we were talking about before. Behavioral stuff and body language. That's big as well in sales. But what are you looking for? Like, give us some things. What you're looking for in a criminal and eyes and like. How about this one? I'll ask you a specific question.
Sure.
What do people do when they lie?
Oh, so that is a big misconception. You can't tell if someone's lying.
Okay.
Right? So a lot of people say, oh, if I ask you if I ask you, picture the front of your house. Okay. Smiling.
We know
already.
this one.
You know this one?
Guys go up to the right.
No?
Right?
Yeah. Count how many windows. No, that's a different thing. But yeah, count how many windows you have in the front of your house.
I'm not gonna.
You're not doing
it.
He's doing it.
I just remembered I live in an
You go like
apartment.
this.
So they said, oh, if you go up to the left, if you're right-handed, right? If you go up to the left, you're telling the truth. If you go up to the right,
You're
you're making it up. It's not really true. It's not that really accurate. It's just that's the way your brain works. It doesn't mean that you're lying. Okay. So what we do, like when I'm in the box doing an interrogation, right? I look for comfort or discomfort. So I will ask you a question and I will see your body language, see what changes. It's the behavior change, right? If I ask you, like say you did a crime in a red car. Oh, what color is your car? I'll see you swallow. I'll see your neck carotid go. I'll see your feet point away from me. Okay. Like I'll look for all those things. I'm like, okay, that's a clue. That distressed the person, right? Made them uncomfortable.
Yep.
So I go ask a bunch of other questions. And then when I come back, I say, oh, so what year is your car, your red car? And then I'll see the same actions happening again. So now I'm starting to build that like, okay. Something's up
You're
with this.
analyzing their behavior and then you know.
Right. But again, you can't tell if someone's lying. You're just analyzing what's making them uncomfortable and you can capitalize on those questions. So the perfect example I have is my mentor is an FBI agent. 33 years he was doing counterintelligence, spy catcher, really is what he was doing.
Yep.
So he had this one lady interviewing her the whole time. Like, oh, she's a spy, espionage. She's like, this got to be her. Everything he's asking her, she's freaking out. She's uncomfortable. She's looking at her watch. She's looking over here. And he's like, all right. So the hammer question is, so you look like you're uncomfortable at something. Do you want to tell me something? And she goes, yeah, I only had 2 quarters and I put it in the parking meter and it's about to run out.
Oh my God.
So
you never know.
you never know.
Is.
She wasn't lying. She was uncomfortable, but she was not even thinking about his questions.
Yeah.
Turns out she wasn't a spy, you know? So things like that, it's all about comfort. You can't tell if someone's lying. Yeah.
So who's like the worst guy you put away or caught? Like, can you tell us a story about a bad guy?
I mean, there's been so many. So many.
We got to get one good specific story out of you
Bad
tonight.
guy. We want to hear about a bad guy.
Tell us about that guy you punched in the mouth.
No, I've never rolled with somebody like that much. I've had a couple that we fought, but the homicide one was probably the best one.
The recent?
The recent one. Yeah. That was a good one. A lot of work, a lot of stuff.
It was just one guy that went away.
How long was the investigation start to finish?
18 days.
18 days.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And you wake up and it's the only thing on your mind. It's the only case you're working the whole time too,
yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
Like they don't have you doing stuff in between.
No. And it was our entire unit. So we have 12 investigators and every day somebody's doing something else. Go pick up this piece, go look for this, go look for this, bring it back to me. So I'm not really out there doing everything, right? A lot of people think of like, oh, you see on TV, like the first 48, the lead investigators out there asking everybody every question. That's TV crap, you know. I'm in here. I send
puzzle
out
pieces.
I
Right?
send 11 guys out.
Yeah.
They get the information. They come and bring it back, and then I kind of piece it all together and figure out what's the best way to go. So I had my narco guys doing surveillance stuff. We have FBI task force guys who were reaching out to get other task force members involved. It was a huge operation.
What is it like with like the network of police that you have? Like, are you able to use the resources of like the state police and the Putnam County office and like sheriffs and like, do you guys all work together as a conglomerate? Like, how does that work?
So it depends. For our agency, we're the county sheriffs. So we are like the primary for the county. If the other agencies have their own detectives and things like that, but they don't have a lot of the resources that we do. So if there's like a huge crime scene, like a lot of blood and forensics or whatever, they'll call our forensics unit out and we'll take the pictures. We'll do a lot of that stuff. So there's a lot of give and take. The smaller agencies just need more bodies. Like that's what they need help putting stuff together. If we need help, like we need more resources, yeah, we call the state police. In my homicide, I don't think I really used state police at all. I went right to the FBI because it crossed jurisdiction lines.
Interesting.
So because it was
Out of state.
down south, I had to use a different agency.
What's
to
like
help
the
out.
farthest reach you can go? Like who can like levels above FBI? Is there really even anything above that? I've
used Secret
NATO.
Service. I've used FBI.
What did you just say?
NATO.
NATO. Right now, I have a crypto case, like a financial crime crypto case. Where
Secret Service.
it led me to Nigeria. So I'm working with the Nigerian, like federal EFCC or whatever they are, like the federal.
Was it like a Nigerian
Commissioner
scam thing?
My suspect is in Nigeria. So yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, which you think, I can't do. I'm Putnam County. I can't do
Hey,
anything.
what's the
But
extradition?
yeah, there is none. So he commits a crime that's Nigerian crime, and they will arrest him over there.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
kind of I pass the buck. I do all the work and say, here you go, go get him. You know,
Here's all my work.
yeah,
Enjoy
yeah.
it.
So
Damn.
we can reach anywhere. You know,
Yeah, you can really have any pull, whatever's needed.
yeah.
What was working with the Secret Service like?
So they do a lot of money stuff. It was another financial crime where it led me down to the Dominican Republic. And you call them up and like, hey, I get this money thing, blah, blah, blah. You explain the case to them. And generally I'm like, listen, I'm a little cop, a little town in New York, you know. And I explain the whole case. I say my suspect's name. And they're like, oh, yeah, we just arrested him and 7 others last week for the same crime. send us your stuff. We're going to tack on the charges.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
There you go. But then it's crazy. I got to call my victim back and be like, hey, just so you know, the Secret Service is going to call you, and it's for real. It's really that. Yeah.
That's wild. I could never imagine getting a call from the Secret Service. I'd hang up and be like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, no way.
Nervous.
Yeah, that's intense. When you were young, did you ever get in trouble yourself? Stupid little shit?
Yes and no. I actually got in trouble. And my mom will kill me, but I got to tell the story. So I got in trouble when I didn't get in trouble. Okay. So I had a 95 Eclipse, all tricked out. Fast and Furious just came out. Literally could have been in the movie. Right. And my curfew was 9 o'clock. Had to be home at 9 o'clock. Right.
Now with an Eclipse with the underglow.
With the underglow. Yeah.
You gotta show it off.
Which broke.
Don't even get dark till 9.
Broke every time. So I actually came home early one night. It was like 8:30. There was nothing going on, whatever. So I came home. My dad was asleep on the couch. He's a musician, so he was always out late at night. So I'm like, just let him sleep. My mom was upstairs. I go upstairs to my bed and I just fall asleep, right? I get woken up at like 6 o'clock in the morning from my mom shaking me awake. She goes, every voicemail that's on your phone, just delete it and ignore it.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, what's going on? So I wake up, I hit my voicemails and it progressively got worse. Where the hell are you? I'm going to kill you. Once I find your car, I'm ripping every wire out of the car. You no longer will have a bed. And it just kept going. The last one was my dad. And it was just, and hung up. I was like, oh man, what the heck? So I go downstairs. I'm like, what's going on? And my mom, she came downstairs. My dad was now awake watching TV in the middle of the night and says, what, did Kevin come home yet? And he's like, no, he's not home. So my mom went out driving, looking for me.
Oh my God.
She went all over. She thought I was like street racing in Queens. She went to the police department thinking I was working at the police department as a cadet. She went to the movie theater. She came home, went upstairs. My dad is still awake. She goes, did he come home yet? Now it's like 4 a.m. He's like, no, it didn't come home yet. She goes back out again, goes looking for me till 6 o'clock. She comes home. She opens the garage and there's my car in the garage.
Oh my God.
She comes storming inside. What time did he get home? My dad's like, he didn't come home yet. She goes upstairs and she finds me asleep in the bed. And that's when she woke me up.
Oh my.
Till this day, I think if she didn't come and look for me, I'd be dead.
Yeah.
I would have got the beating of my life.
Oh, that's funny, dude.
Wow. Okay, so that was the hardest thing. That was the hardest thing you ever had to go through.
You got in trouble, but you didn't do anything.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten tickets and got my car taken away.
Got it.
Like
Okay.
that, but yeah, that's
Your father was a musician. What'd your mom do?
musician. She was a music teacher for 35 years. They own a music store for 50 years now. Yeah, 50 years.
Never got into music?
I did. I could play pretty much anything.
So you're a pianist.
I'm a pianist.
That's another fun word.
And a
pianist and prosthetist.
And prosthetist, yeah.
Those are my favorites.
I toured Europe for a summer with my sister in an orchestra. We went to Vienna and Prague. My main instrument was like a clarinet. My dad was a woodwind player. Mm-hmm. My mom was a piano player. So when you pick up those two, you can pretty much play anything. During high school, I worked at my dad's music store and I did repairs. So I can't fix them if I don't know if I fixed them or not,
Right,
so
yeah.
I can pretty much play anything, not perfectly, but I can at least know if I fixed it,
Wow.
That's cool. Do you still do any instrumentation?
Yeah. I own a piano. It's in storage right now because we moved, but I taught my wife guitar. We have a couple guitars in the house, so I pluck around once in a while. While she's cooking dinner, I'll pick up the guitar and play something.
So romantic.
Do you play anything? You good with any guitars? Or any instruments?
Piano, but I only know one
in
song.
high school, did you have to do a band or something like that?
No.
You want to hear a fucked up story? This
Yes.
is bad. We'll get canceled for this, but I'm saying it anyway. When I was in 7th grade, you had to pick between general chorus or band. So I was in a band, and then I got kicked out because I didn't want to play, and I got in like arguing with the teacher, and they were like, "All right, you're going to chorus. You got to sing." I said, "Okay, no problem." The kid next to me was doing something, and I called him a retard. And the teacher's son was retarded.
Oh.
And that was a bad day. That was a bad day. They screamed at me, cursed me out, and then Then I had to take gym class every day because you know how you used to have to do it
Cycle
every other day.
Yeah,
They were like, all right, you're fucked. Just go do gym every day.
Yo,
I called someone retarded, and her son was.
I was
retarded.
that kid in school who in gym class tried fucking hard and like dominated.
Yeah, me too.
Like, you know how
Me too.
I would have loved to have gym every day.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. I'm like, what? I got in trouble twice, and now I don't have to sing or play clarinet.
Yeah, perfect.
Fucking perfect.
Sign me
I
up
played
for that.
gym every day. Yeah, it was the best.
So I want to know about the aspirations for the rest of your career. Does it stop at detective? Do you eventually want to take a leadership role? What does it look like for your future?
So last weekend, I actually did take my promotional test. So the next step in like the track that I'm in is a senior investigator, which is like the supervisor of the unit. After that, you'd have to go back down to like road patrol stuff, like a lieutenant, things like that. Captains are elected in our position, so that's generally like the retired guys or who's able to retire soon. I have 4 years left, so
Damn,
I can
really?
retire. I can retire in 4 years.
Dude,
So
you look young as hell.
Yeah, holy shit.
Good for you, bro.
yeah. So it
What are you,
depends.
Italian? All Italian, strict? 100%?
No, so Italian, Yugoslavian, Scottish, and British.
So Italian.
Ah,
Italian.
so you're Italian. Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
So you got 4 years left, and are you planning on potentially retiring in the next 4 or 5 years?
Right now, I have no plan. I
Okay.
can go, maybe. I'm just debating on what the next step is. Living in New York, I can't live on my retirement. You know, there's like anything else. Price keeps going up, and nothing else changes in New York. But
Just so you know, we're hiring.
you're hiring.
And you'd be a great salesman.
You'd be a very good sales
The
rep.
pay is
I
very
could.
good.
I could.
And it's
And
in,
you
I
have your
could.
retirement
I
too.
could. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
hey, man, use that NLP.
Yeah, it could be good.
my father
really
started, he started here when he was 57, started selling solar. So
Oh, really?
you can do it
Yeah.
when you're old,
Could be good.
older. Yeah, that's interesting. What you started at 22 and you can retire at 42, so 20 years and that's it.
20 years. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Dude, you
20
look
years.
young as hell.
Rough 20s. I'm 38.
You don't look 38. I hope I look. You're 38 when I'm 38. I feel like I aged like 10 years in the last 3 years because of this shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Slowed me down a lot.
Yeah.
I used to be like hyper active, like literally running up trees, doing backflips and like all sorts of crazy shit.
Right.
And now this slowed me. Now I'm dad mode hardcore. Love the couch.
Yeah.
I could sit on the couch for hours. I'm sitting on the couch right now and I'm working.
So let me ask this from the amputee. What is it like? What happens when you get older with an amputee? Because you're still young, and I don't know if we've ever met anyone who's old with an amputee, because your skin gets worse and everything else. Like, do you know anyone who's old and it gets really fucked up?
No, I just know as I'm getting older, I have to adjust my ways. Like to get up in the middle of the night, I'm not putting my leg on to go to the bathroom. You know, I used to hop, and I know that in the long term, that's not really a good
bad.
idea. That's your hip's gonna go, whatever. So, my amazing wife got me crutches, which at first I was like, I'm not using crutches. No way.
Like that.
Hate
Yeah.
crutches.
Yeah. But now I love them.
Really?
Yeah. Like I go to training, I don't bring them.
You
and
use
I
the
get,
under
I get
armpit
pissed.
ones or?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't stand crutches, dude.
They-
In my personal version of hell, I'm using crutches.
Crutches. Yeah.
I hate them. I have a this thing called an eye walk because I'm a BK and I still have my knee. Are you able to put any pressure at the distal end of that or no? Would that hurt?
Like if I take it off and go to knee on it,
Yeah.
hurts like hell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's like bone.
On just your limb, you're saying?
Yeah. On this side. Yeah. My bone is right at the edge. So it feels like you're walking
Just
on
pinching
your
skin.
on a sharp kneecap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. So kneeling is like out. Unless I got this on, then I can do whatever.
Do you have anything to supplement that? Like he's got the eye walk thing that kind of wraps around. Do you have
No,
anything?
he's just got
for-
crutches.
Yeah, just crutches.
I have a liner, but I
Yeah, but I mean
no.
something else to just like if your leg's really busted up for the day. Is there anything else you can use? No, you
Nope.
just crutches.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it.
Crutches. Yeah. Or suck it up.
Kevin, were you married when you got in your accident?
No.
Were you
No.
with Shanna?
We just got married in August in Scotland.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
Scotland.
Was that
Congratulations.
Yeah, August.
Holy
Yeah, almost a year now.
Congrats, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
That was the first year of marriage.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome.
You're not just saying that because you're on camera, right?
No, no, it really is. It's great.
No,
And
good.
He just got engaged.
Yeah, I got engaged. We're planning on getting married August 24.
Nice.
Yeah, we're trying to plan it.
22.
Why'd you go to Scotland? Because you're Scottish? You got family there or something?
It's like a fantasy. She's always wanted to go, but yeah, my family's Scottish, so we figured, hey,
How was Scotland?
that's the best. Amazing.
Yeah?
Amazing. The worst part is the driving. You know, I'm like, I could drive anything. You know, I'm a cop. I do 100 and with lights and sirens and everything. Yeah, the other side of the car, on the other side of the road,
weird.
instant panic attack. Okay. For the first, and she'll tell you, the first day, where the car that was in front of me, wherever they were going, is where we were going. I'm just following it because I no idea. There's no traffic lights. There's no stop signs. It's literally just rotaries or yields.
What?
Yeah. So it's just constant go. Yeah, it freaked me out. Yeah, it took me a good 2-3 days to get
The only
used to it.
thing
Then I was fine.
I can compare to that is like, I've been to Ireland a lot, and I assume they're kind of similar in that way. And like, even in Ireland where I went, like people don't use cars all the time.
Yeah.
Fucking walk everywhere from my memory.
Yeah.
So I feel like the roads are underdeveloped, like you're saying.
Yeah.
What are the accents like out there?
We didn't
People
see a single one.
Didn't see a person out there?
Oh, no. Oh, accents?
Accents.
Oh, accents. No, those are great. Yeah, those are.
They got some
Do you have like,
crazy
you have like
accents.
family out there?
No. My family was from Aberdeen, which we were going to go, but just we ran out of time. We had 11 days out there and we still didn't have enough time. So we got to go back.
What's in Scotland? I don't even know. Is there like, what would you go say?
A million castles. You ever see the TV show Outlander?
Uh-uh.
No. So she loves it.
Like old school castles, like old beautiful castles.
I think the castle that we went to was from the 1500s, 1400s, whatever it was. But yeah, so old. But
So I'm sure everybody wants to hear about castles, but I think we should talk about what it's like dating when you were dating your wife as an amputee. When did it come up in conversation? Was it right away? Like when you were before?
So I was at the gym, right? I'll tell you the day that we met. I'm at the gym and everybody comes up and asks you something, right? They're always shaking your hand. Thank you for your service. And now it's uncomfortable because I'm not in the military, but thank you. You know, I at least say, hey, I'm a cop. So whatever, I'll accept it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, but this one day at the gym, I'm just trying to work out and probably 7 people came up to me and it's like, hey, good job being here. What happened to your leg? And I'm like, hey, listen, all right, take it easy. All right. And then the seventh person, don't know why, I'm sitting there on the bench and he comes up and goes, hey, what happened to your leg? I'm like, motorcycle accident. All right. He goes, still ride?
That's the fucking number one question. I hate it.
Yep.
No, I don't ride.
Yeah. So I said, no. They put my bike in 7 garbage bags. Like I just got like nasty, So he like walked away and Shanna walks up to me and she goes, you get that a lot? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, but now I got to calm down because you're pretty and you're talking to me. So, and that's how we met. She just approached me and it was because of my leg at the gym, So
Look at that. Picked up
right?
in a gym. The other way around
right?
too.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like
That's how I got picked up in the gym
Yeah.
by my fiance. She was my personal trainer.
There you go.
So
That works.
So to follow up on that, I'm interested in knowing, like in your line of work, what is it like? What is like the importance of having like a partner and like maybe like this kind of world of like PTSD? Like, do you see a lot of guys that like take their work home with them? What is it like being a cop and being a partner at the same time?
So it's rough. I see some guys that are having a hard time with it. We have. I got a lot of friends. I don't know if you saw the Bristol PD shooting that happened a couple months ago.
I don't think.
Bunch of my friends. I work with them. We have the cadet program, so I was an instructor for the cadet program, and we go out to Bristol, and there's an academy that we have for them, and we teach the range. We teach shooting firearms to like all the kids. But one of my buddies went to a call, domestic violence, and he was shot and killed.
I'm sorry.
Probably the word.
Jesus.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's was real rough. They're still having a hard time, those guys, like being with that. So to have someone like my wife that is just like my rock being there for me is the best thing I could have. Anything like if even for limitations with my leg, like, listen, this is too long of a hike. I don't think I can do it. She says, shut up and do it. You can do it. Just do it. All right, cool. We've been on hikes where my leg overheats and it's beeping and I'm taking water and pouring on it to cool it off, And you just got to get over that mental part of like,
Yeah.
you can do it. Like, just get it done. Go do it. Whatever. If it breaks, whatever. I'll crawl out of the woods. I don't care. It's 7 miles, whatever, you know. But she's always pushing me, and to have that is worth everything.
Yeah.
Worth
Have you
it.
ever done like a Spartan race or anything like that?
No, I
With the leg?
was debating it. You know.
You could do it. You crush it. Zach
We just did
two.
one, and
Yeah.
I met an amputee too when I was there.
Yeah.
That had one leg,
Yeah.
and they're a blast. You'd
been it.
fucking kill it.
Yeah.
They're not. Have you ever ran like a marathon or anything like that?
Nah, I hate running.
Okay. Yeah, me too. Listen, that's a whole different level. The Spartan race stuff is fun, and you're doing climbing and monkey bars and everything. But that's a
that'd be
good
fun
time.
to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's in the woods. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's a good time.
So I guess this is my last question I have. When you talked about your accident, you kind of just like you kind of brushed over. It seemed like you like never really had like a moment of panic. Did you find that like your family or people around you were more upset than you actually were in that process of healing?
Yeah, absolutely. So that the same sergeant that I told you when I was a kid, that with the bullets and everything, he's the one that went to my parents and told them I was in the accident. Mom, knees buckled, fell down. Dad, panic attack. You know, I've had a couple of my friends who used to ride with me had to go on medication. You know, like they were hard about it, and they would just come see me at the hospital. I'd be like, listen, it's fine. Like I'm good. You know, I didn't have any broken ribs. I didn't have any road rash. I mean, just a little bit on this leg, but that's it. You know, it was just that. One of my buddies who was with me at the time that it happened never left my side at the hospital. He stayed in the bed next to me. He would always funnel everybody in, do whatever he could, but it was just everybody else was more affected. And I felt it was my job that like, I got to make them feel better about this. Like I'm good.
Isn't that
know?
a crazy part of it?
It's wild.
Yeah, I think the person who was most affected by my accident was my brother. He was behind me on his motorcycle and had to watch it. And like, it really tore him up.
Yeah.
And I can imagine because, well, I can and I can't, but the point is, if I had to watch it happen to my brother, I would rather get in the accident 2 more times than watch what happened to me happen to one of my brothers. It would drive me, I wouldn't be able to sleep. But for me, it was fine.
Yeah.
I wasn't even like, I was cool during the whole thing. I was definitely in shock, but like, I remember I handed my license to the police officer. Like, I was fine.
Yeah, same. So my accident happened where I was a cop. So I knew all the EMS and the fire and everybody that showed up, and they were like freaking out. I was down in the ditch and they brought the stretcher to the side of the road. And they're like, oh, how do we get him up here? How do we do this? Oh my God, I know him. I just hopped up. I stood up and I hopped up the side and got on the stretcher. I'm like, now we're done. Like, problem solved, you know? So like, it was just, you just got to take control of it, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was. It just clicked in and just get it done, you know?
Kev, you're a different type of man, dude. I'm
It's
really
just
happy we had you
survival,
here.
man. I
I
love
like to
it.
think that.
Listen, I got my last question for you.
Wait, actually, before you ask it, I got 1 second.
I got too.
shit.
All right, hold up.
I know. I almost just got
What
beat up.
up?
What the fuck
You
was
said
that?
your leg just got taken off by the truck. Was it like destroyed, or was it still
No.
like in one piece?
Laying in the middle of the road in the
Like
back.
just straight?
Oh, did you get to see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
No way.
And one of the guys I work with now is the one that picked it up and bagged it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did they do with it? Incinerate it?
I don't know.
I'm pissed. I don't know what the fuck they did with mine
I don't
either.
know. I'm
I think they would have
assuming.
offered it to
Yeah.
me. Like, I would have kept it. My foot? I would have like cleaned up the bones and kept it at my crib. I'm weird.
On social media one day, I put up a picture, which was pretty funny, a tattoo that said 1 foot in the grave on the back of someone's leg.
Yeah.
Mom freaked out. You better not have put that on your body. But I was thinking about it, like, yeah, it probably got burnt somewhere, but yeah, what the hell?
Interesting. I can't believe it didn't explode. It just
Yeah. It kind of
Nice
like
little-
just detached and went that way with the truck, you know? So yeah, weird.
fucking. Our bodies are crazy.
So during the
ahead.
recovery and your healing process, were you kind of like forced to see the potential dangers of like opiates? Like,
So
Oh, yeah.
being a cop, I knew that. I know that the first couple of days in the hospital, they give you the button, just click it whenever. And I was like, I'm not feeling shit. I don't want to feel any pain. I'm just click it.
I was there.
But the second I was out of there and I was in the rehab, I'm like, I'm not taking anything. I will just do Tylenol. I know, like we're not doing that.
I did do the painkillers.
Yeah.
And the hardest part of all the recovery was coming off the painkillers. Because I knew when I was done, I would check myself every day. I'd be like, okay, I'm not going to take anything until it hurts. And then I would make it through a full day. And then, okay, I got a quick cold turkey and I did. That shit,
Yeah.
it's pretty clear how people get addicted to that shit. It's amazing.
Yeah.
They're great. And coming off of them sucks. It is the deepest trap I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of what happens when you don't come off of them.
Yeah.
So I didn't play any games with it.
One of my certifications is a drug recognition expert. I'm one of like probably 50 in like this area, like the Hudson Valley. It's if someone's driving like DWI, just not alcohol, it's on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew a lot about the receptors and how drugs affect the body and all that. So I was literally freaking out when they're like, "Oh, we'll give you morphine." I'm like, "No, we're not going down that road."
So you dealt with some fucking pain.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, they had me on a morphine drip for like 3 days. Just keep clicking it. Anytime you want it, I wouldn't even know if I wanted it or not. As soon as that light went green and it's good to go, I'm like, click.
It was green for you too? So it's been green for a long time. I used to call, when I was in the hospital, I would say to my brothers, like, we'd be talking, I'd be like, all right, guys, I'm going Green Lantern.
Boom.
And I'd hit it and then I'd just be like, ah, in the bed. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was like super
Wait,
relaxing.
what is it just attached to you, ready to go?
It's like literally hardlined into your body, and it would you'd hit it.
What?
And it was mine was Dilaudid,
Yeah, it's a lot
which
of.
is probably what you had too.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
It's like a
but
drip. Zach.
Damn.
Yeah,
You'd
but it
hit
was just
that
ready
button.
to go. I thought they'd come in, give you a pill,
Oh,
and
dude,
or like
no.
something. No,
You'd hit
it's
that
just
button, and mine was on like a 15-minute time limit. Every 15 minutes you can hit it, and I'd hit it, and I'd just go, blah.
Yep.
Going Green Lantern.
It's on reserve. Boom.
and it would just knock you out like cold. Like as soon as you hit it, you're just pretty much.
Yeah,
hit it and you're
then
like,
you get
yep.
used to it. I mean, I was on it for quite a long time compared to you. I mean, mine was 7 surgeries. My leg was fucked up because I landed in the woods. It was dirty.
Yes.
The break was, my leg was pretty much mashed between my motorcycle and a rock wall.
Oh,
So it was like bad. It actually started down here, and then they cut like all the way up to here.
right.
7 different surgeries.
Wasn't that the last surgery before they were going to go above your knee?
They
Almost at the end.
I wouldn't say the last one, but it was
Wow.
getting to that point where it was a thought, and it's a lot harder being above the knee.
Oh, you're no kidding. You basically got like 2 legs.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Pussy, yeah.
But I said that I pretty much
Fucking
lost my ankle and my foot. So
Yeah.
like my day to day hasn't changed a whole lot. I can't run on a moment's notice, but
Well, we've seen people
between me and
too.
you, I never fucking did before. So
What's the difference?
We've seen people that they're like down here,
Yeah.
and like you're barely even.
yeah, they just
There's
lost
no
their
changes,
ankle.
Yeah. There's
Well,
like nothing.
not having your ankle is a big difference.
Yeah. Still, I'm just saying the farther it goes down, I feel like it's major difference.
Yeah.
And Lassie, his thigh, like is here.
All the way.
He's got
So
like
high
he's
up.
got like 6 inches of thigh.
Yeah,
that's
that's-
it. Nothing.
Yeah, but his wiener is longer than his
That
leg.
thing is
That's
cupping
right.
his
That's
nuts.
dope.
Yeah.
Technically, what's his leg? If your wiener hangs longer than your leg,
Don't get into the
That's
details.
pretty much a leg.
At least he gets to say, my wiener's longer than my leg.
How does he
It's
actually
rad.
say it, Tony? How does it sound when he says it?
I got to get into it.
Come on,
My vena is longer than my leg. That's my
Still
boy.
sounds
Shout out to
Russian.
Lassie.
go ahead. Ask your final question.
I assume you're going to have an awesome answer to this. No pressure. But my favorite question to ask everyone we have on the podcast is, at the end of the day, what is your message to everyone out there in the world?
Yeah. So if there's anything to take home, this will not stop you. If you have any type of trauma, you can get through it. Your brain and your body, it can take so much more than what you think. Just get it done, send it. Don't let anything hold you back.
That's it. That's beautiful.
Stay
That's
hard.
strong.
That's it.
That's strong. That's what I try to tell people. Like, some people come to me sometimes in the same way they come to you and ask, I got a friend, he just lost his leg. Can you talk to him?
Absolutely.
And like, it's amazing how powerful that message really is. But when someone like you are a walking, talking example of it with 15 years under your belt, killing it.
Yeah.
Like when it comes from you, it's a lot more powerful.
Shows.
So thanks for coming on, bro.
Awesome.
Thanks, Kevin. That was an awesome
Appreciate you
podcast.
guys.
Thank you, man.